Hi, I'm Rob here with York Home Performance. Today we wanted to take you on a little tour in virtual reality to put you in the crawl space and in the attic so that you would have a better idea on what we have to do. It'll be an immersive experience to say the least. Please, if at any time you feel the need to remove the headset, simply pull the headset forward and lift off of your head. This is a 360 video, so you'll see Sam, our cameraman. Your back should be facing him for most angles. Follow us on this ride.
So the first thing we do is we start off, we grab all the materials. Things you're going to need: insulation, you'll need baffles, spray foam, insulation board for any chaseways or hatches, Tyvek, basic materials. At every job, we start by running the blower door again just to confirm the original start number for where your leakage is in your home. It is very important to monitor leakage, not only for energy efficiency, but also for air quality in the home, different things like moisture, off-gassing of furniture, and also any kind of combustion gases in the home. Then we go up into the attic, and the first thing we're going to do is all the prep work that's necessary for insulating your attic. We have to seal off all the different penetrations that we showed you throughout the audit. This includes top plates, which is the top of the wall of any interior or exterior wall. It is basically when they frame out a home, they lay a board flat, run studs vertically, lay out another board flat. They take the drywall over to that board across the ceiling. Where it meets, there are small gaps that exist. We want to make sure all these areas are properly sealed off prior to adding the insulation to your home. We have interior top plates, exterior top plates. As we're going along, moving all the insulation, we get down, we can expose that and seal that top plate completely. Also, while we're doing this process, we have to install baffles on the edge of the home. These baffles here are important for the ventilation of your attic. Your attic is outside of the envelope. We are not trying to heat or cool that area. We still want there to be consistent ventilation up through the soffit vent, all the way up the roof deck and out the ridge vent there. It also allows us to insulate all the way out to the exterior top plate and to the ceiling there because we have created that area for airflow to travel through that vent. This stops the process of ice damming and allows for continuous ventilation there. As we're moving through the attic, the other things we're looking for are large penetrations. Also looking at the different chimneys and where the flue pipes tend to come up through the house as well. Those areas we want to seal off, and we also dam off with flashing metal so that the insulation doesn't come in contact right with that surface. Next, we move on to the common walls, vertical walls, and knee walls. We start by Tyvek in these areas because we are simulating the same thing on the side of your home. These walls are exterior walls. You would never have the siding or anything like that off of your home and just showing insulation. So we simulate that with running Tyvek and spray foam in it so you have that consistent air barrier there. One of the other big things with prepping the attic is venting all exhaust fans out of the home. The importance of this is it's taking that nice hot steamy air from your shower and usually dumping it straight into your attic. We want to get that to the outside. As we're moving through the other penetrations within the home, we've uncovered large areas like chaseways for the stairwell, bulkheads, or different large penetrations. We can cut our board, which is insulation board with a value of R5, to fit those areas that we can't just spray foam because they're too large gaps. We fill those gaps with the insulation board and then we spray foam them so that they are airtight. Therefore, we keep a consistent level playing field across the whole attic for the insulation of your attic. Now we are on to the insulation part for your home. This is everything you've seen up until this point was just to prepare the attic, going through sealing all the penetrations, adding the baffles, blocking any chaseways, looking for any knee walls, common walls, or vertical walls there. We are now going to blow insulation. This is the easier part. This is where we blow nice fluffy pink insulation into your attic. And if you've noticed, in this attic, we did not remove all of the old insulation. Reason being, when we go through and we're sealing all the penetrations, we have to lift all the old insulation to get down to those penetrations. We are able to see if there's anything that should be removed, if any at all. Our new insulation will get blown over this area and engulf and encapsulate basically all of your older insulation, and now you will have what you see as a sea of pink there. This is light, fluffy insulation that is meant to stay light and fluffy and consistent throughout, so that as heat transfers through the insulation, it gets trapped in the little pockets of air there and resists the transfer of more heat up through the different penetrations there. This is a process where we blow the attic completely level after we have gone through, sealed the penetrations, leveled out the insulation that we had to move to seal those penetrations. We now make a nice level playing field all the way across your attic there. You should have up to 18 to 20 inches of insulation in your attic. Okay, so the next thing we'll show you here is the replacement of the electric water heater with a heat pump hybrid water heater. The heat pump hybrid water heater is basically the technology of adding a heat pump on top of the original electric water heater. What this does is it takes air from within the room, heats it over the coil, and allows it to recapture that energy towards actually making hot water. At the same time, it'll dehumidify the air, so it's perfect combination for the basement. Traditional electric water heaters can use anywhere between 5,000 and 5,500 kilowatt hours per year. The hybrid water heaters will actually only use about 940 kilowatt hours a year. What we begin with is draining and disconnecting the old electric water heater. You'll see here the new heat pump water heater. You'll be able to see the heat pump that's on top. It does have a fan in it, which you will hear run. This is like a humming noise that you would hear in like a bathroom fan or a kitchen exhaust for the most part. It's not extremely loud or anything. It's not even as loud as the furnace is. At the top of the unit, you'll be able to see the electric control board. This is where you can control the temperature or cycle through the different features for the water heater. The hybrid mode is where you can run it for the most efficient measure. You can also run it as a strict electric water heater, but all the efficiency comes from when that heat pump is making the hot water there. Down at the bottom of the water heater, we actually install a tank tee and we put on a brand new expansion tank. This has stopped the water hammering effect on your faucets and drains there. So the next clip will just show how you can control the water heater right there with the electric panel there. It's very easy for you to adjust between temperatures and settings, and this just shows the fan actually running. Like I said, it will produce a light humming sound, but it's definitely not even as loud as your air handler that runs right beside it. The filter on top, you want to clean this about every year or so. You just take a look at it. It pops right off. You rinse it through water, let it dry, throw it right back on. So once we have finished off the attic work, we move on to the other areas that may be included in your project. Basements, crawl spaces, cantilevers, garage ceilings. This instance, we are doing a crawl space. When treating a crawl space, you have two options. You can encapsulate it, which means you make sure there's a moisture barrier down on the floor for your vapor barrier, and that you would then be insulating the walls. Or in this instance, this is an open crawl space where we are treating the floor. You still want to make sure that there's a vapor barrier that we'll do at the last steps there to seal off all the moisture from coming up. But the first process of the open crawl space is to seal off all the penetrations, kind of like we did in the attic there. Next, we install Tyvek across the whole floor system there so that we have an air barrier. This is the same process we use for knee walls, common walls, or vertical walls in the attic, because your technical outside wall here is the floor. There are walls around the crawl space, but those are technically outside. We are drawing the line at the floor, and once we have sealed off all the penetrations with the Tyvek and spray foam, next we are going to start dense packing the floor area. The dense packing process is we will make little incisions into the Tyvek and then dense pack each cavity full of insulation there. What this allows us to do is push all the insulation right against the floor so we don't get any sagging or any of that insulation coming out of contact of the floor that's above.
Thank you for taking flight on our 360 tour. If you have a question on anything that you saw, please ask your auditor and he'll be glad to explain. From everyone here at York Home Performance, we look forward to helping making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. Thank you and have a great day.